Welcome to your bonus video. This is video number 30B, today's periodic table.
Now, today's periodic table that you guys are going to be working with and that I grew up working with is based on atomic number. Remember, that's the number above. That's the number above the symbol always. And remember, atomic number by definition is the number of protons. And our periodic table starts with hydrogen, and so did Mendeleev's. And I figured you guys were going to ask me, well, Mrs. Burke, what is the newest, most recent addition to the periodic table? Well, here it is, number 115, ununpendium, and they have a temporary name for it, and that's just based on its number. There's no official name yet, and if you're like, Mrs. Burke, how do elements come about? Well, these are made in a lab. And what they have to do is, once they find it, they have to have two other labs actually confirm that it exists, and they have to be able to make that. So 115 has actually been around for about 10 years, and just recently, in this last year, a lab in Sweden actually confirmed it. They were the third one to do that. So they have gone ahead and added 115 to the periodic table.
Element ununpentium, element 115, and it's been a real surprise the frequency at which the discovery or synthesis of a new element has been announced. And a few days ago we had the announcement that the original experiment for making element 115 had been repeated by a different group, and this greatly increases the chances that element 115 will actually get a name. Originally, groups from the Institute in Dubna in Russia and the Lawrence Livermore Lab in the States collaborated to make element 115. The way they did it was a method which you take a heavy element and a light element, and by accelerating the light element, it bangs into the heavy element so fast that every so often, and not very often, the two nuclei fuse. So in this case, you take americium, element number 95, calcium ions going really fast, element number 20, 20 plus 95 makes 115. If we do it properly, you can see they should fuse together. It's quite a hard process, but here you have the combined nucleus 150.
So back to comparing Mendeleev with modern times, and here I've done sort of my little version of a T-chart. So Mendeleev, he did his based on atomic mass. Remember, he only had enough technology to know that there was a nucleus. He had no idea what was in there. Remember, he left those gaps, and at his time he only had about 63 elements in 1869. But now, in modern times, ours is based on atomic number because we know that there are protons and neutrons in the nucleus, and we arranged it by protons because we have much better technology. Right now we have about 118 so far. I couldn't have included a video without at least a couple of element songs, so I'm going to give you the newest one, and then I'm going to give you the old one that I love so much, so hang tight.
There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air, oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the sign, sodium for salty times, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, then sulfur, chlorine, then argon, potassium, and calcium so you'll grow strong, scandium, titanium, vanadium, and chromium, and manganese. Iron is the 26th, then cobalt, nickel, coins you get, copper, zinc, and gallium, germanium, and arsenic, selenium, and rhodium, well, krypton helps light up your room, rubidium, and strontium, then yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, silverware, then cadmium and indium, tin cans, antimony, then tellurium, and iodine, and xenon, and then cesium, and barium is 56, and this is where the table splits, where lanthanides have just begun. Lanthanum, cerium, and praseodymium. Neodymium's next to promethium, then 62. Samarium, europium, gadolinium, and terbium, dysprosium, holmium, erbium, thulium, ytterbium, lutetium. hafnium, tantalum, tungsten, then we're on to rhenium, osmium, and iridium, platinum, gold to make you rich till you grow old, mercury to tell you when it's really cold, thallium, and lead that is good for your tummy, polonium, astatine would not be yummy, radar and cesium will last a little time, radium, then iodine at actinium, thorium, protactinium, uranium, neptunium, plutonium, americium, curium, berkelium, californium, titanium, chromium, indolenium, nobelium, lawrencium, rutherfordium, wdm, spherium, borium, hesium, pneumaturium, obsidium, mercurium, copernicium, natrium, flerovium, unpentium, livermorium, unseptium, adamantium, and then we're done.
Alright, I hope you liked the pictures in that one. The next song that I'm going to show you is much faster. It's the original one, and it's the one, I don't know if you've seen Daniel Radcliffe or Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. This is the one they all sing. Hang tight.
There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen and rhenium, and nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, and lanthanum, and osmium, and astatine, and radium, and gold, protactinium, and indium, and gallium, and iodine, and thorium, and thulium, and thallium. There's yttrium, ytterbium, actinium, rubidium, and boron, gadolinium, niobium, iridium, and strontium, and silicon, and silver, and samarium, and bismuth, bromine, lithium, beryllium, and barium. There's holmium and helium and hafnium and erbium and phosphorus and francium and fluorine and terbium and manganese and mercury, molybdenum, magnesium, dysprosium and scandium and cerium and cesium and lead, praseodymium and platinum, plutonium, palladium, promethium, potassium, polonium and tantalum, technetium, titanium, tellurium and cadmium and calcium and chromium and curium. There's sulfur, californium, and fermium, berkelium, and also mendelevium, einsteinium, nobelium, and argon, krypton, neon, radon, xenon, zinc, and rhodium, and chlorine, carbon, cobalt, copper, tungsten, tin, and sodium. These are the only ones of which the news has come to Harvard. And there may be many others, but they haven't been discovered.
For your summary, compare and contrast the modern to the old one of Mendeleev's periodic table. And if you would answer for me, what is ununpendium, that would be great. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in class, and I hope you like the songs.